Okay, this front section one is going to be a little bit more difficult to glue. I may skip it for now while I think about it some more because it's got an indentation in there for, am I getting this? Yeah, for, I don't know, like an air conditioning unit, industrial size type. I'm guessing it's about a 1/2 inch indentation, which means that when I glue this rigid foam up there, that whole area is not going to touch because it's so rigid. It's only going to glue on this edge right here and along here and then back along here. So this part won't be glued at all because it's indented. Like I said before, when I'm gluing, I only really gluing to the ribs because anytime you have a rib and it changes in height like that much, it's not touching there because this stuff is really rigid. So I may skip this one for now. Think about it. I might have to buy the 1/2 inch insulation to fill in that gap first. I'm going to have to measure it to see if it truly is 1/2 inch. And it's a little bit tricky to measure. I think I'm going to have to measure it. Anyway, other than that, I have one piece back here to do in the ceiling. And then I have the ends, which will be done with scrap, little pieces. And then the next fun part is the walls. What I decided to do on the walls is actually the big flat area in here. Can you even see my hand? There we go. This big flat area in here is what I will glue the insulation to, avoiding, even the small stuff like this where it erases a little bit because that will lift it off. That's like about an inch deep there. So 1 inch will go in there. Then once I filled in those 3 sections, 1, 2, 3, with 1 inch, then I will put, I think it's a 1/2 inch. I think a 1/2 inch piece over the top of that. And that 1/2 inch piece can go the whole distance. I'm going underneath this rib and above that next rib down there. And that 1/2 inch piece, I'm really tempted to have one piece that is a piece of Luan with a 1/2 inch Polyiso glued to it and then bolted up there. So you'll have 1.5 inches of insulation for most of it. The only place you won't have 1.5 inches of insulation is on the rib right there. You'll have just 1/2 inch, which I'm not super worried about because, like I said, I'm going to be avoiding the cold climates, though. I'm not planning on camping in the snow. And so that's what I'm thinking, because the reason why I do it that way and avoid the ribs rather than covering it all is you lose depth in the van. And I'd rather just cover the ribs with something in the end to give them a little bit of insulation, so I can keep the depth, because as you may remember from earlier videos, it's 77 inches wide at this point. So if I cover it with 1/2 inch of ISO and then the glue on, I'm going to be down to like 75 inches and a half maybe, which is good because the bed is 74 inches long. I don't want to lose, you see I'm getting close to losing enough length for the bed, but not close enough if I plan properly. Whereas if I cover the ribs, you see the distance on the rib between rib to rib is 73 inches, which is already too close to the 74. It's less than 74 inches across. So if I insulate it across the top of that rib, I would not have enough left to have a bed, because I'd be even squeezing length of it. That's why the bed's resting on top of that rib. At least that's my plan at the moment. And once I get the bed segments made and put in here, I can give it a feel and see what it actually feels like, because I'm hoping to go even higher than that rib with the bed, a couple inches higher. I'm hoping. We shall see. But I want to that's the thought, and I'm not going to be able to really tell until I actually put the bed on there and see what it feels like. Once I see what it feels like, then I know if I need to go higher or lower. Anyway, I think I'm going to glue up a section now. Okay, it's glued in place. And I was right about this one up here. It is 1/2 inch, so I will have to get some Polyiso that's 1/2 inch to fill it in.